And so we decided we're in Melbourne, and pack up and go back up north where our children are. And we had our caravan, so we were just living in our caravan, and then we decided to do a few trips, and 5 years later we're still in the caravan. If people are respectful when they go and when they leave, then it makes it right for the next person to come along.
You look at somewhere like Steep Point. I mean, there's nothing hidden about Steep Point. They haven't got the capability to get to Steep Point. It's really as simple as that.
This episode of Big Lab Chats is brought to you by the BLC Crew. BLC Crew is your all-access pass to bonus episodes, expert advice and insider tools, and a like-minded community. You need to plan and live your Big Lab with confidence. There's an interactive travel and research map, a premium ad-free content, exclusive behind-the-scenes access, and exclusive discounts and special offers just for club members. And there's a lot more than that too. So jump in over at blccrew.allaroundoz.com.au and we'll see you on the inside. Welcome back to another episode of Big Lab Chats, and today my special guests are Bob and Jen from Travelling Oz Our Way. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good to have you here. So we were just chatting before, and you're just up the road from us in WA at the moment, and you're saying how all those inland towns and all the more sort of outback WA towns, what fantastic little towns they are.
They are.
They are. And as I said earlier, I think the pride that the people out in the outback have in their towns is pretty amazing. They understand, I think, that the tourist dollar is part of what keeps them going. Obviously the mining throws a few dollars, but the attitude to the people out here is just fantastic.
We found travelling through WA, everyone's been really friendly, very helpful, and lots of pride in their town as well. Absolutely. So where exactly are you calling in from today?
We're calling in from a little town. It's not even a town, actually. It's just a spot on the map called Caravanning. It's between Meekatharra and Newman. And it's actually a school community for Aboriginal children. It's a boarding school. But out the front of the school, they have a caravan area with power and water and facilities. And it's a fabulous place to stop. If you want to just call in, they have coffee and cake, or you can stay for a couple of days.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what's your story and what got you started and why are you on the road? How long have you been on the road?
Oh dear, we're sort of accidental full-time travellers, aren't we?
Well, we are this time around. We've been pretty nomadic all our lives. I mean, we've been sort of married for a bit over 40 years and we started our married life in a caravan. I built not a caravan, sorry. I built a school bus up and we travelled in that for a while. And then the institution got the better of us and we settled down and we did what everyone does and got into debt, had kids, and everyone knows that story.
And when we were water skiers, so we used to camp, but just tents or just out in the open, actually. And it wasn't until we probably were empty nesters that we then decided, okay, it's time to get a caravan. And this is actually our third caravan in probably 6 years. So we've finally found the caravan that we're really, really happy with. But, I mean, we're able to do that financially, so it's not something that we would recommend everyone to do.
Do you have a home base?
We actually sold our family home, but we have an investment property and we use the rent to pay our bills, basically. I can't say live off, but pay our bills. And so once we don't have a home base, so we go back and we stay with family. So we've got 4 children, so we'll stay with them. And my dad's still alive, so we'll park the caravan at his place and stay with him for certain times, yeah. We hit the road full-time after COVID. So we're in Melbourne with pretty strict lockdown, which really, and a lot of things had happened over the years coming up to COVID, deaths in the family, and we were just absolutely burnt out from COVID. That was our tipping point.
Had enough.
And so we decided we're in Melbourne, and pack up and go back up north where our children are. And we had our caravan, so we were just living in our caravan, and then we decided to do a few trips, and 5 years later, we're still in the caravan. So it was just like, we will settle down one day.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
we don't have to, do we?
No.
It is what it is. But basically, as soon as I hit retirement age, we decided we were going to go. And Jen's...
I call myself semi-retired.
She's a bit prettier than me. She's a bit younger, and Jen still does a little bit of work. Don't you?
I didn't for the first year. We lived off my long service leave, which was perfect. But after that, and then probably by the end of 2 years travelling, I was getting a bit, I feel like I need to stimulate the brain a bit. So I've just actually got some work with a university. I can work remotely. And I can work on a casual basis. So, it's in 2-week stints or 3-week stints when I want to engage with that. So it's perfect. Gives me something to do, gives me some stimulation, and keeps me in the education system. That's another point of contact for me. So, but Bob's, he works at looking after the van and the car. That's his job.
Fair enough. And how did you come across that? Because I know a lot of people would like to work as they travel around Australia. So how did you go about finding work?
It's a good point because it took me a while, but I just went on to Seek, like the websites. I got to put in some applications, didn't really have success there. And then I just went straight to the university sites. And I've got the qualifications already, so I didn't have to do any courses. And I just put my resume in, and there's different sections, and within a week I got a phone call. So it was just timing, I think, because I think they're well sought after, those positions. I just said, I'll give it a go, and I'll see how, if I enjoy it and if it works in with what we're doing, because I don't want anything that's going to take us away from family or from travelling, and I don't want to engage on face-to-face or in a workplace. I think I'm done with that. Within a week I had a job, and I had to go through all the process. It's huge. All the online modules to bring you up to speed on workplace health and safety and cyber safety and all of that.
Which is all stuff you've done.
It's all part of it, but you have to go through that, and then you just get into it. It's just, it's fabulous, actually. It's easy. Bob just goes for a walk, and I'll do a couple of hours here, there and everywhere. So, and
cool.
Just being over the 3-week time, I can sort of do a whole compact lot of hours, or I then do just an hour here and an hour there. So it works really well. And I get a little bit of money. Not a lot, but a little bit of money, which is nice.
Keeps topping up the petrol tank, hey?
That's about it.
It tops up the millions of dollars we make off social media.
Not.
Oh, I know. We just live in a lap of luxury, don't we?
Oh, hey, well, I know one of your questions, so we'll bust that myth down the track.
Oh, you've been listening in, I can tell.
Well, we do love podcasts, so when you contact
cool.
us, it's a perfect opportunity.
And you've interviewed, a lot of the people you've interviewed are people we actually know, so it's quite funny.
To actually hear them talk and basically say the same thing, because it is the same message that travellers want to get out there.
People are really hungry for tips and things. I know when we first started looking, which was around the COVID time, that seemed to be a trigger for a lot of people. There was only a handful of YouTubers, and there wasn't a lot of information with hints and tips and so forth. So, and that still is the same today. Like people are still, you'd find the same thing.
Well,
people are hungry for advice.
A little bit different, I think, Annette. So, like we're obviously a bit older, and we chose to do this in retirement. So we funded ourselves, and look, to be honest, the little bit of money we make, we just direct it to a charity somewhere, because if we've got to try and live off what we make off social media, I'm eating bread and fat, and I'm losing more weight. Like the dynamic's a little bit different for us. We're not sort of hardcore out there trying to make money and stuff like that.
A lot of it as well, or well-intentioned, but not really practical or financially, stable for families or for people travelling. Nevertheless, we all go onto the Facebook groups, and we all go onto YouTube, and we love to hear and we love to dream about things. So if you can take it with a grain of salt and try different things that are not going to impact financially on you, then so be it.
A lot of people that are doing okay out of it, they're good people. and I like chatting to those sort of people, and and I wish them all the best. We support as many of them as we possibly can, because we're a pretty good community.
Yes, I think so too.
I can
I
hear
know you said
Uncle Bum in the background there.
he's the retired one.
Yes,
in our,
us women, we keep going.
I know. Someone's got to keep the coppers coming in.
Oh, dear.
So I know you said you're onto your third caravan now. So what's your setup now?
So we've got a 22-foot tent. Well, actually, we call it a 23-foot essential Outlander. This one's 2.5 year old.
It's a semi-off-road.
It's a semi-off-road.
Yeah, full
Yeah,
off-road.
not going to get into off-roads and semi-off-roads. It's the ensuite and all that's in the middle, which gives us the two separate living areas.
Yeah, I love that layout.
Yeah, well, Jen being the academic, she likes to go to bed and read.
It's not about being academic. It's just
Well,
getting away.
As far as I'm concerned, if you can read, you're an academic.
I hear you.
And I can come down this end and study hard on the rugby and the rugby union and stuff like that, so with the TV on. So it's a 23-foot semi-off-road Outlander. We asked the company, which is Essential, we asked Essential to build it for us, or Ian Grant, over in Traralgon, and they did that, because the van we had before this was exactly the same, but it wasn't,
Okay.
it didn't have off-road capability, and of course, we picked it up. We did a trip with it, came back. We came to Western Australia, actually. We went back, and the intention was always going to be to upgrade it to what we needed while we were away. As I said, we don't do a lot of hardcore four-wheel drives. We do a bit of off-road stuff, and we do a lot of gravel roads. So the semi-off-road suited us. When we got back, we sent it back in, as was our intention, and we had more solar put in. We had more water put in. We had a few
Caravan.
we had caravans put in and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
So we've basically now got the van we want, basically.
We tow it with a 1500 Ram,
Yeah.
Okay.
And we tow it with a Ram 1500.
so we don't have to worry too much about weights, because
Weights.
We've got
the capacity.
We've got the capacity, and we've got everything done that we needed. We need to be able to tow.
Did you have anything done to your Ram to bring it up?
Absolutely. I mean, when I say absolutely, not a lot, no, but you have to. Unfortunately, in Australia, it doesn't matter what sort of four-wheel drive you got, where you get it, when you buy it OEM or you buy it brand new, you got to send it somewhere and do the suspension up. It's very, very, very few vehicles, unless you're going to tow a small van with a very big truck or a very big tow vehicle. You've got to enhance the suspension and the towing capability of what you're pulling. I mean, that's a massive industry in this country, and they don't want to see that change. So,
No.
so it's always going to be that way. But I did the suspension up.
We don't have a back on our, like a
No,
fridge and have that. We just have the tub, and we just
I've just got a couple of drawers in the tub, and we put a winch, a bull bar, and winch, not a bull bar, but a bull bar basically, and a winch on the front.
Nudge bar or something.
Just put a predator on it, and apart from that, we haven't had to do a GVM upgrade on it,
Cool.
and deliberately didn't want to do that. So I'd rather, they've got a 4.5 ton towing capacity. So if we're gonna put the weight in anything, I'll put it in the caravan, and we'll pull it down the highway and try and keep the weight off the Ram, which is. It's worked well for us. We're sneaky legal.
Yep.
We're legal, GCM legal, GVM legal.
Yep.
But when we hook up, we might have we might have 100 kilo or so more than we should over the back axles. But apart from that,
I just tell him to get out. That's all.
right? But no, they're good.
You're happy with it?
We've had it for coming 3 years in December, and we've just done 100,000 k. So we do.
Cool.
So we use it for sure.
Good one.
Yep.
What's one thing most lappers overlook that could make or break their entire journey?
There's so many.
I
I think, well, from my perspective, it's that travel weariness, that tiredness that comes from living on the road and constantly thinking about where you're going, what you need. If you're off grid, have you got enough water and power and things, food and things like that. But then just packing up, moving on, packing up, moving on, setting up, packing up. It's just constant. And I do get tired. And so we stop. We have to stop and just rest. Rest. And I would say for families more so because...
Yeah, they'd be on the go from the dawn, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So, I mean, but we're in our 60s. So, I mean, if you're young and you're 20 and in your 20s, and it may not have as much impact. But for us, that's one thing that I would think that would catch lappers, particularly if you're just doing a 12-month lap, because you've got a time frame and you've got to fit in as much in that one year. We can take our time.
And I think for me, I think people overlook the word travel. And in saying that, I mean you're travelling, you're on the road, and I think a lot of people overlook the fact that you need to be safe on the road. We all talk about the beauty of travelling and we talk about moving all the time, but people need to understand we are moving and we are on the highway. Yeah. So overlook UHF is important. Don't overlook the fact that when we go out there on the road, we are actually in someone else's workspace. These truckies work out there on the road every day. Safety, etiquette on the roads. And I think it's important too to understand that the people that do work and make their living out on the road, they don't mind to spend out there. They don't, as long as we're courteous and as long as we do the right thing when we're out there. I hear a lot of people abusing truckies for the language they use on Channel 40. Well, hey guys, get used to it. Channel 40's their channel. I've done a bit of that myself. And if you don't like it, what's on the back of most caravans? Channel 18, go to Channel 18.
Yep.
I mean, I've overlooked that a little bit, Annette.
I do too. We were in Mount Morgan recently, and the biggest trucks I've ever seen being transported through the town, and they took up the whole width of one part of the road. And there was a prime mover pulling it and a prime mover pushing it.
Oh, yeah.
And there were two of them together. So there were police and escorts and all the rest of it. And I just took a video, put it up on our Facebook page and saying this is why you need a UHF when you're travelling, so you can hear what's going on. They can contact you, tell you to get off the road or whatever. Oh, well, I've had people say, don't you tell me that I need a UHF. I've never had one. But it's for your safety
100%.
as well.
Yeah.
And for the couple of $100, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
I think.
100%.
Oh, you don't even... I mean, I understand that they can get a bit technical for, like, I talk about older people. God, I'm 70 next birthday myself, but you don't need to be too technical. You can walk into Dick Smith and buy yourself a little handheld and whack on 40.
He's showing his age. I don't think there's any Dick Smiths left.
Isn't there?
JB high five.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, there's plenty of dicks around.
On the road there are.
Yeah, but I mean, it's important. I think that communication on the road, I think that just gets overlooked a little bit by some people out there travelling.
I mean, you've got your whole life in your car and in your van.
And your families.
And your family, that's right.
If the kids in there.
Yeah, that's something that people might overlook.
Yeah.
I agree. So what's your secret to finding the most breathtaking yet under-the-radar destinations? How do you go about finding those spots?
Oh, look, I mean, typically wiki, whatever, locals, talk to the locals. But I think with so many people on the road, a lot of the hidden secret places are now not so hidden anymore, and I think that's how it should be. This is everyone's country. This is everyone's land. We should have the opportunity to go where we want to go and see all parts of the country. And I think people should be happy to share where to go, because not everyone's going to go there. Not everyone's going to go to the Kennedy Ranges or to Caravanning, where we are at the moment. Then they're not going to. And then I think of all those people who will never get to travel, so they need to see it from someone else's perspective. So I'm sorry if people feel that should be a hidden secret, but I don't feel that way. And if people are respectful when they go and when they leave, then it makes it right for the next person to come along.
You look at somewhere like Steep Point. I mean, there's nothing hidden about Steep Point, but I haven't got the capability to get to Steep Point. It's really as simple as that. So, you know, when we go out there, for example, for us it's like film it if we can, and the YouTubers that spend a lot of time and effort on their channels and their gear, get out to those remote places, film it. Don't treat it as a hidden secret, because some people just can't get there.
We often comment on that when we're going somewhere that would be difficult for people who are less able, with mobility issues or disabilities.
Or not the right equipment even.
And we think, gosh, how fortunate are we that we've got the capacity to still do this. And that's why we film, because I know that if someone's sitting in their home or in a hospital bed or whatever they're doing and just would love to see that part of the world that they'll never get to explore.
Bring a little bit of joy into someone's life.
That's right.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do. I got a mate who's just battling cancer at the moment, and he's sitting down with his feet up. He can't do anything. He can't go to work, and so he can watch what we're doing, and I can have a chat to him on the phone. And I mean, it's great giving us that ability.
That
it's
capacity
fantastic.
to do it.
I agree. So, where's some of your favourites that you would go back to?
Jen's favourites are not my favourite. Well, they won't.
That's fine.
Some of Jen's favourites are not mine. I got a deadly. When I say deadly, there's nothing in this world. There's no man in this world, and nothing in this world that scares me except salt water.
And those big fish in it.
Bloody oath, big fish.
Yeah.
Jen loves the beach. I love the bush. I love the outback, and I don't think, for me, I don't have a favourite particular place. Just anywhere in the outback. The redder the dirt is and the sun shines, the happier I am.
I think we get to a place and go, oh, this is fabulous, this is our favourite. And then you get to another place and, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, obviously the big ticket things like Uluru and the Ningaloo, they're just spectacular. Like you can't understand how amazing they are till you're actually there and fully in the moment.
And we did 4 months in Tassie.
It's
just
spectacular.
amazing.
But some of the off-beaten places are just as beautiful. I mean, nature is beautiful. So you've just got to enjoy every place that you go to and just see the beauty in the place that you're at.
For sure.
Yeah.
So where are the standouts for you then? Both outback and beach?
We loved Kakadu. We did Kings Canyon and West McDonnell Ranges and
East McDonnell Ranges.
Beautiful out there. Yeah. Just standout, stunning places to visit. And we've been back there a couple of times, and we've been back to the Ningaloo a couple of times. Just swimming in that clear, warm water there's nothing quite like it. Just snorkeling and just nothing like it. You know, you have to keep pinching yourself when you're there to remind yourself how special it is, because eventually we won't be able to do that.
But I think it's also really important to understand, particularly for people listening to your podcast, that your experience at Exmouth on the Ningaloo is not going to be real flash late December.
Yes.
You know, and your experience at Marble Bar is not going to be good in late December. So, and I use those as extremes because standout places are going to change for everybody as they travel, but do your research and be very wary what is the best time of year to be there, and you'll get the best experience that you possibly can.
I mean, everything's weather dependent. You can either make or break your whole experience. The flies, the midges, the wind, the rain, the cold, it all has an impact on that experience at that time. So, I mean, when we hiked Cradle Mountain, it was cold, freezing cold, low cloud. You couldn't even see Cradle Mountain. And so the people we were with, they said, oh, we'll have to come back. And I said, well, no, this is our experience. We saw rainbows and it rained all day, and then the cloud shifted a little bit, so we had this little vision of Cradle Mountain, and that was our experience. And we revelled in that because you know, you could come back for the perfect day, but this was the perfect day because that's when we were there.
That's the unreality of Instagram, isn't it? Everything looks perfect.
100%. We were at Mesa Campground on the Ningaloo about a month ago maybe, And the midges were shocking that day.
Oh,
Like Jen got so badly
Oh
bitten.
my God. We couldn't even step outside.
No.
It was so bad.
And then we
Gosh.
posted it online, and obviously the photos looked great. The Instagram part of it all looked fantastic. And then made the comment about the midges. And a lady was there 2 days later, and she said, I don't know what they're talking about. There's no midges. Well, that's
Yeah.
the nature of their beast. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
So, and that's all part of that experience, you know.
and it was probably windy when she was there. That's why they weren't there.
Possibly, you know, I don't know.
So, what have you ticked off your bucket list that you'd go back and do again? What about experiences and things like that? Did you have any, I've got to do that no matter what, and you've done it and thought, yep, it's worth it?
We swam with the whale sharks at Mouth.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was
It
amazing. Still fresh in our mind.
It still gives me my heart a flutter. It was unbelievable.
And
so when you
because I don't like the salt water, my sphincter still shudders a bit when I think about where I was.
It was the most perfect day. So once again, the experience was magnificent.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was worth every cent. It was just unbelievable. So we're resident to do that again because it may not be as good, but it was still. I mean, everyone we talk to says how amazing that was. So that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, we don't do a lot of tours and boat things and helicopters. We just don't do that. Like we're happy to. Like we trekked into Bungle Bungles, and I thought, it'd be lovely to fly over the Bungle Bungles, but we had the experience of walking in that ancient land, and there's nothing quite like that. So
it's sort of like I guess it leads to why our Instagram handle is Travelling Oz Our Way. I mean, we try to do it simply that way, our way, rather than follow the crowds all the time.
Probably the other thing that comes to mind is one of the other things we did do in Tassie. From Port Arthur, there's a company called Pentecost Cruises, and Pentecost, and they take you out along the cliffs, right
down around Tasman Island,
and it was
stunning,
pretty surreal. Like it's freezing, but you're in a boat with this big raincoat from head to toe, sort of thing, because you get wet and it's freezing. You're on this little boat, little as in 30 people, a jet boat. You're out in the ruggedness of the ocean right next to these cliffs, and you can't get to them any other way, basically. So that was pretty spectacular as well with them. I mean, we haven't done horizontal falls. Everyone says how amazing that is. I haven't got to do that. We don't feel we need to do everything either. So I mean, some of just the simple walks like Kings Canyon we've done twice.
The Gibb River Road was, when
pretty
we
amazing.
did it was pretty amazing. Yeah. The gorges are amazing. It's so pretty.
We're doing that next year.
Yeah. Well, and people build the Gibb River Road up as something that's it's so hard to do, and if you're prepared and you travel to the conditions, most people can do it. I believe the sensationalism of what you see, because it's such a beautiful area. I would hope lots of people could do it. And maybe those myths have been busted since so many people are travelling now, because, it is doable. It is, if we can do it, anyone can do it. That's what I reckon.
One thing that we did do, we shouted ourselves a 40th wedding anniversary gift, and we backpacked, and we truly did backpack South America. We did Machu Picchu, Rainbow, and we did the Amazon.
Lake Titicaca.
And then we finished it off with a group of friends of ours. We met them in Buenos Aires, and we finished it off with days in Antarctica on a science ship.
Wow!
So that was a real highlight, and a win for us.
Not Australia. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, it wasn't. But the perspective it gives, I'll make this comment, as much as it was amazing and as more beautiful, Australia's still the best country in the world. No question about it.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's on Jen's done a really good video on our YouTube about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll pop it in the show notes.
Whales and penguins and me getting in the...
We did the polar plunge.
Did the polar plunge while we were over there.
Oh.
I got out of the water and then I looked for the documents to sign I think I identify as something other than a bloke now.
So have we busted the myths, or do you have one that you'd really like to bust?
I think it's social media. That's all. Because we've got some answers written here. So I know everybody says, "Oh, it's a great question, Annette." Well, we've heard all your things. But I think it's social media. Social media is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It does keep us connected with family, friends.
And it does show you all those beautiful locations, and we've become much better photographers and much better at posting over our 5 years of travelling. But of course, we're always presenting a curated version of what we're seeing, because you're trying to cut out the people, and you're trying to, just to the left is something that no one wants to see. It is true that Instagram versus reality, but you've got to take that as it is and just say, well, it's not what we thought it was going to be, but we've had disappointments in our travel, thinking we're going to go and have this great experience or see this, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's not how it is. But you go, oh, well, once again, it comes back to that experience on that day for those people, and and how good their photographic skills are or their videography is. You don't have to post on social media. I mean, who wants to see? We used to joke when we first started that we were going to start a page called The Lazy Photographer, and just show all those, not even B-rolls, like Z-rolls on your camera that was so bad, because that sometimes is the reality.
It is, isn't it?
When you just go, it's too cold or it's too hot, I'm not getting out of the car. You want to go down and take a photo, and that's the lazy photographer.
Or they're blowing a gale off the top of a cliff or something like that.
Yeah, or I don't want to be covered in 1,000 flies, I'm not getting cutting out.
But Instagram really has portrayed the beauty of the country. There's no question about that. And there are people in the industry that make a few dollars out of it, and there are people that sit at home in the cities and live vicariously through their favourite YouTubers or Instagrammers or whatever have you. But it's only and look, I'm repeating what both Zane and even Keelan said the other day on your podcast. A very small percentage of people that people travel other than they take photos on a camera, not an iPhone.
Yes.
So some people, the large majority of people are travelling and they're not even doing Instagram.
No, that's right.
They don't online. They just do it for themselves to do a photo book or show their family or just have memories. And
that's how we started.
You don't have to do social media, but it's for us, we wanted to do it. And like some people want to do it, and it's great.
Fun.
But don't think you get tons of money from it either. That's probably the biggest myth. Instagram doesn't pay. Facebook pays about, well, it depends. We're monetised on Facebook. It's hilarious. I think the most we've received is 49 cents from a photo. That's the majority. That's the high end. So you'd have to be posting thousands of photos to get any income. And look, if you've got lots of followers, I mean, that's all relevant, I suppose.
It needs to be done. But
if you've got lots of people are engaging with you, then sure. I mean, we know all the big groups that are making money. When a lot of them are open about it, and good on them. I think that's not us, though. We're not that. We're small fry. We do it mostly for ourselves, and our family. And if other people want to jump in and look at it, that's great. That's serving the purpose that we set up for.
Cool. That's good. So what's one tip that saved you bacon on the road that you rarely see shared online?
I don't know if it's saved our bacon. It's probably saved our sanity. It's sometimes just the little things that, as I said, not even saving your bacon. It's just like making things run a little bit smoother, and it's just being prepared, flexible. I know we've heard that a lot, but have your plans. We're planners, but we're also happy to go off that plan and just go with the flow, stay a few days, move on faster.
If you talk about what saves our bacon, if you're going to talk about in the sense that what keeps us travelling, the van, we've got the van set up and we're comfortable in the van, that's important. That's really, really important. And two, we treat our life today exactly like we would treat it if we didn't travel. In other words, we're very conscious as we slowly get a bit older We're very conscious of health and fitness. We train nearly daily on the road. The cleaning of the caravan, the maintenance, our medical requirements.
Life goes on when you're traveling, and you have to maintain everything. So, like, you've got to go to the doctor occasionally. You've got to get to the dentist. If you take medication, you've got to keep those scripts going. That's the planning I was thinking about, making sure that you've got all those things sorted so that you can travel freely without worrying about that you haven't picked up a script, or you're going remote and you're going to run out of something that's going to...
So I think that sense of normality is what basically saves our bacon and keeps us going, if you want to put it that way, because this is our home.
Yes.
It's as simple as that, and it's our life, and it can't change. There are certain things can't change. Don't need to go to the doctor as regularly as we used to, because we just go to the campfire at night, and that's where you can find all the old aging ailments and the medications. And they'll tell you everything from half a bottle of rum to a bloody bottle of Viagra, but the whole thing that part of it can be dealt with around the campfire.
Easy, hey?
Yeah.
And saves money.
That's simple.
Oh, that's been great. Thanks for sharing all your hints and tips today. It's been really good. I guess one thing I didn't ask you though, and you'll know the questions that I normally ask, and that's what's your top 3 money saving tips while you're on the road, or your budget saving?
We anticipated this.
Good job I remembered, hey?
I'd have reminded you, don't worry, because I've taken the time to think about it.
Cool.
Okay, I'll do mine.
All right.
So the biggest thing is everybody talks about fuel and the discounts. Right? So the biggest thing for me is, if you want to save more money, go ahead and do that. Save you 4 cents a litre. But the speed you travel at towing a caravan can save you a shitload of money.
Yep.
An example is 100 litres of fuel at 4 cents off, it'll save you $4. If you're going to put 100 litres in your tank and you're going to get 400k out of your tank of fuel, and you can drop down by just 2 litres per 100 by dropping your speed down, but you're going to save 16 or 18 bucks over a tank of fuel. So even though we've got the RAM, we've got the big engine, we've got all the power and all that, I'm very, very conscious of just poking along the highway. Like he said, between 90 and 95 kilometres an hour, probably closer to 90 than 95. We're not in a hurry. We try to be, get out of the way of people doing their job on the road. And by dropping those litres per 100k down, you can actually save a lot of money. So the tip from me is, try to drop your litres per 100 down in your car. I mean, I hear of some big V8s out there using up to 28, even 30 litres per 100 kilometres. If you can drop that down, you can start saving a lot of money if you want to poke along,
Yep.
Yeah. And mine's probably more practical inside the van. You hear people talk about shop the specials and stock up. So some of those items that will cost more on the road, your essentials like deodorants and soaps and moisturisers and shampoos. And if you've got the room, I would say buy those when they're cheap and put them under your bed or wherever you've got a bit of... I know it's a bit tricky for people with families because there's not a lot of storage, but, that's what we do and have done that right from the beginning. But one of the things that we have continued to use and do is around water. So we have tanks of water, but we use those for showering and everyday use. But sometimes you get to remote areas and the water's not great. Buying containers or bottles of water. So we keep a stock of bottles in our van that when we're in a town, we can fill up with water. And then we don't have to keep buying the big containers of water, because when you're in a larger town, those 10-litre waters are $4, $5. Get to somewhere like Exmouth, that's $12 to buy.
Right.
So, we would keep those water bottles full of water and then just use those for drinking when the water's not great. I mean, most towns have, bore water that potable water, let me say that. But sometimes it
Yes.
doesn't taste great. So you want better water to drink. And sometimes your tanks, you've got to keep those clean, but sometimes the water doesn't taste great either. So
That's because you're a tea snob.
I drink tea. Bob's a coffee drinker, but I drink with tea leaves. So I want
Ooh,
tea.
you are really a tea snob.
Yeah. It's funny because people, coffee, I'm my coffee snob. But as soon as I say I drink tea leaves, they think, oh, she's really snobby. But why would I want a 4-cent bag of crushed tea leaves when I can make a proper cup of tea? So the water counts. The water, and water sometimes is shocking around Australia. That's just how it is. It's just how it is. So if you're a bit particular about water, then that's one little thing that has saved our money.
Yeah,
basically.
and I think also
Good tip.
loyalty programs, Annette. And when I say loyalty programs, I'm talking about with the parks. We don't do a lot of parks. We try to duck into a park about once every 2 or 3 weeks for a couple of days to wash, and everybody does it, right?
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time off grid, but for those people, particularly the older group of people, our Facebookers, if you want to put it that way, and people who rely on the caravan parks, join the loyalty programs. So the G'day and the Big Fours, Ingenia, QE parks,
QE. Yeah.
Reflections, or join all of those. They'll charge you around about $25 a year, $50 for 2 years. If you use the parks, if you stay for 5 or 6 days at any one park, you'll get half of that back straight away. So the programs with the big parks, if you're a caravan park user all the time, right, they're well worth getting hold of.
I agree.
They really are. You'll save money, basically.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thanks for those tips. And is there anything else that you want to add? Since you know how it all works.
Look, I just think we'll learn when you travel. You will learn so much about yourself and your partner. Even though we've been married for 40 years, the last 5 years. I mean, because you go through different stages in your relationship, whether you're married or not. That initial
You
stage
haven't got that written down.
where it's just the two of you, and then you go into the children stage. Then you got the little children, and then the teenage stage, and then you become an empty nester. And we're the empty nesters living in a tin box on wheels, basically. And it hasn't all been wonderful. We've had some really tense times where communication we've had to talk about that a lot, because you don't actually get away from each other a lot. And sometimes you've just got to rely on each other for connection. So human connection with it is so important.
I got really worried when Jennifer rewrote the definition and the penalties for manslaughter and murder.
So that it will test your relationship, and you just, like anything in life, you just got to work through it, and we have. And at times it's great, and times I send him off for a walk. And for us, the caravan parks are for Bob to get out and have a chat with somebody. And for me, just to have time by myself.
Yeah, it's a bit like that in our house too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we love socialising, and that's one of the joys of travelling.
It's one of the whole joys.
We have met so many people, and even our children say to us, "Oh my goodness, you've got new friends. You never think as you're going to have new friends." But the joy of meeting people on the road, and then catching up with them again, and then going away on a trip with them, and like-minded people, basically. We all have families, and we all have different lives, but we come together on the road, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's been really, really wonderful.
So our tip is, if you can, and if you've got the capacity, give it a go. Don't worry if it doesn't work. It doesn't work for everybody.
That's right.
If you can make it work, it's definitely worthwhile.
And I think it's important to remember you can do it in anything, right?
Yes.
We've got, pardon me, we've got friends who $500,000 rigs, even more expensive than that, right down to...
We just met a couple from Tassie who just got a tent.
They got a tent.
They're our age.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Sue.
And they're just having the best time.
They're having the best time, and they're doing exactly what we are doing. No matter
Yeah, and seeing
everybody-
the same things,
Yes.
same.
Absolutely.
on
That's right.
anyone's setup. Everybody loves their setup because it serves their purpose. you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
don't keep looking for the perfect setup or for look at it, we want to upgrade this or whatever. Just work with what you've got, and it's not about the setup; it's about what you're actually doing. And
She's belting me now, see?
he keeps kicking the table.
I'm going to take the position vacant sign out and put on the back of the caravan if she bloody keeps it up.
But I
Oh, good one.
one of our final messages: if people see us on the road or in a caravan park or wherever, come and say hello. Like we're very social beings, and we're happy to chat with anybody. So yeah, come over and say hello.
Sounds great. Well, thanks very much for joining me today. It's been a great chat.
Well, thanks,
thanks for
Leanne.
having us.
Yeah, it has been enjoyable. It's
Yeah.
lovely to reflect to every now and then on what we're actually doing, because it just brings back the reality of not everyone can do this, and we're very fortunate.
I agree.
Yes.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much,
Annette.
Annette.